In this video, we're going to show you how to replace an alternator on a Honda Pilot. Let's get started. Using a 10mm wrench, we're going to loosen the negative terminal on the battery and remove it. Tuck it to the side. Don't let it hit the post at all. Remove the engine cover. Grab the coolant overflow bottle and pull straight up and pull it out of the bracket. Also pull the hose off of the plastic stay. And then pull it over to the other side and put it out of the way. Grab the power steering reservoir and pull straight up and remove it off of the bracket. I'm going to shift the reservoir behind that bracket, and there's a 10mm bolt at the bottom that we're going to remove. Remove the bolt and the bracket. Using a 10mm socket, remove the two 10mm bolts on the bracket. Remove the bolt. Remove the bolt. We're going to pull both harnesses up and out. Remove the boot off of the alternator. Using a 12mm socket, remove the nut off of the post on the alternator. Remove the nut and remove the cable. I'm going to pull this cable back out of the way. Peel the boot back on the connector, and there's going to be a push button on this top side right here. Push on that, and then remove it out of the alternator. Pull the harness up out of the way. Using a 14mm, we're going to push the tensioner, and we're going to pull the belt off of our alternator. And you can let go of the tensioner, let it come back into position. Using a 12mm socket, loosen the top bolt on the alternator. Leave the top bolt in, just a few threads. Using a 14mm socket, remove the bottom bolt on the alternator. Remove the bolt. Remove the top bolt. We're going to remove the alternator. We're going to twist it down. And wiggle it off the bracket on the bottom. And then out of the vehicle. Remove the nut off the post on the new alternator. Using a 12mm socket, remove the bracket off the old alternator. Move the bracket over to the new alternator. Install the alternator into the car. Get the top bolt started. Install the bottom bolt in the alternator. Snug down the bottom bolt. Snug down the top bolt on the alternator. And tighten the bracket bolt. Torque the top alternator bolt to 16 foot-pounds and torque the bracket bolt to 16 foot-pounds. Torque the bottom alternator bolt to 33 foot-pounds. If you can't get a torque wrench in there, do the best you can. Install the cable onto the post of the alternator. Get the nut started. Snug the nut down. Torque the alternator nut to 8 foot-pounds. Slide the boot back over. Make sure the boot is fully installed. Install the bolt through the harness into the bracket. Snug down the bolt. Install the connector harness bracket to the alternator bracket, and then get the bolt started. Snug the bolt down. Install the connector onto the alternator. Push until you hear a click. If you don't hear a click, give it a pull and make sure it's locked in. And then install the boot over the connector. Take the tension off the idler pulley and install the belt. Install the power steering reservoir bracket. Snug down the bolt. Pull the reservoir over. And install it into the bracket. Install the coolant reservoir overflow tank into a bracket. Install the coolant overflow hose into the plastic stay. Install the engine cover. Install the negative battery terminal and snug it down.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.